Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of The Scholar Gipsy, a poem written by Matthew Arnold. In this poem, the poet is the speaker of The Scholar Gipsy, and it is a very lengthy poem where Matthew Arnold describes a beautiful rural setting in the pastures which is near the town of Oxford University. And here he says that he was watching the shepherds and the reapers working in the field. And then he tells the shepherd that he will remain there till evening, enjoying the scenery and studying the towers of Oxford. And at the same time, he says that he has a book along with him. And this book is written by Joseph Glanville, and it tells about a very poor Oxford student who leaves his studies to join a band of gypsies. And once he joins the gypsies, he gets immersed with the community and starts learning the secrets of the trade. After some time, two of the scholar gypsies' Oxford friends, they find him, and while they are talking, the scholar gypsy tells them about the traditional gypsy style of learning, and he says that this learning emphasizes powerful imagination. And he said that he planned to remain with the gypsies until he learned everything he could. And after learning their secrets, he says that he will tell the secret to the world so that the whole world can get to a better state. And everyone will keep telling that they had seen the scholar gypsy in the Berkshire Moor or here or there. And the speaker says that he can imagine him as a shadowy figure who is still waiting for the spark from heaven so that he will learn the secret, that is all the secret of the gypsies, and the whole world is also expecting that from the scholar gypsy so that even they can live a very happy life. The speaker also claims that he has seen the scholar gypsy himself once, but the secret is, or the irony in this story about the scholar gypsy was told about 200 years ago, and since then the stories are going on that people have seen the scholar gypsy, but generally we cannot imagine anyone living for 200 years. But the speaker here, he himself says that he has seen the scholar gypsy once. So the speaker says that despite the length of time, maybe the scholar gypsy could not have died. He would have been living even now because he has renounced the life of mortal men, that is men who died, and therefore he will not die like all other human beings. And this is because he has chosen the lifestyle of the gypsies, and therefore he has escaped from all the dangers of modern life, which is slowly creeping up and destroying man like a strange disease. And finally the speaker ends this long poem by saying that though many people have met the scholar gypsy, he has avoided them because the scholar gypsy was afraid whether every human being already infected by the disease of this modern life may also infect him, and it may affect him. He wants to live along with the gypsies and he wants to live in their lifestyle. It's a very lengthy poem, but this is the summary of it. Come, just let's read the poem and see what Matthew Arnold says. Go, for they call you shepherd from the hill. So here he is talking to a shepherd, and he says here they means the shepherd, the cattle which the shepherd is rearing, and he says, go, see, I can hear the cattle calling you. Go, shepherd, and untie the wattled coats. No longer leave thy wistful flock unfed. So he says the cattle are hungry, so go and allow them to graze in the field. Nor let thy bowling fellows rack their throats. And the shepherd will not be alone, there will be a group of shepherds. So he says, don't make them keeping continuously calling you. Go and attend to your work. Nor the cropped herbage shoot another head, because if you don't go, the grass which the cattle are going to graze will start growing. But when the fields are still and the tired men and dogs all gone to rest, and only the white sheep are sometimes seen cross and recross the strips of moon-blanched green, come, shepherd, and again begin the quest. So he says, when all the men along with you are tired, and even the dogs which come along with the shepherds to help them to graze the cattle are taking rest, and while only the white sheep, one or two, are seen crossing and recrossing the blanched green grass, that time you come back again and you can begin your questions about what all you want to ask. Here, where the reaper was at work of late, in this high field's dark corner, where he leaves his coat, his basket, and his earthen cruse, and the sun all morning binds the sheaf. So he says, till then what will he do? That is what he's saying. He's saying till the reaper works till late, and while he is working, what he will do is he will keep all his coat, his basket, and his earthen cruse. Cruse is a vessel in a dark corner in the field, and this is the place where the sun will not be directly falling on us. Then here at noon comes back his stores to use, and this person will only come, the reaper will come only in the noon, so that he can have his lunch. Here will I sit and wait, while to my ear from uplands far away the bleating of the folded flocks is borne, with distant cries of reapers in the corn, all the live murmur of a summer's day. So in this place where the reaper will leave all his coat, his food, everything, I will sit here and I will wait, and from here I can hear the bleating of the flocks, and I can also hear the cries of the reapers who are reaping the corns, and all the murmurs of a summer day. So all the sounds which will be produced on a summer's day, I can hear from here. Screened is this nook over the high half-reefed field. So what he says is, the place where he is sitting is on a top place, it's in a high level, and almost half the field is reaped. And here till sundown shepherd will I be. So he says here, sundown means evening, till the evening I will be here only shepherd. Through the thick corn the scarlet poppies peep, and round green roots and yellowing stalks I see. So he says here around this place he can see scarlet poppies all just blooming, and also he can see the green roots and the yellow stalks. And then he continues saying, pale pink convolvulus in tendrils creep, and air-swept lindens yield they scent, and rustle down the perfumed showers of bloom on the bent grass where I am laid. So he says here I can even see the pale pink flowers all creeping, and lindens means it's a type of a lime tree. He says in the air I can get the scent of the lindens, and the perfume shower just rustles down on me, and in this place only I am lying down on the bent grass, and bower me from the August sun with shade. And these trees, they give me shade from the August sun, and the eye travels down to Oxford's tower. So he says from here I can see the tower of Oxford. And near me on the grass lies Glanvill's book, and he says near me I also have the book written by Glanvill's. And he says, come, let me read the oft-read tale again. And he says, come, when you come, I will read the tale again and again, because it is a tale which is read many times. And the tale is about the story of the Oxford scholar, poor. It is about a poor Oxford scholar of pregnant parts and quick inventive brain, and most of the part of the book is written about him and about how very intelligent he was, who, tired of knocking at preferment's door, one summer morn forsook his friends and went to learn the Gipsy lore. And this very intelligent but poor scholar had tried to get help from many people, but getting tired of asking many people, on one morning in a summer day, he left all his friends and he went and joined the Gipsy community and roamed the world with that wild brotherhood. And after joining them, he started traveling all over the world, and came, as most men deemed, to little good, but came to Oxford and his friends no more. And though he kept on moving with them, he could learn only a little bit of trade in that short time. And once he came back, but he was not able to meet any of his Oxford friends. But once, years after, in the country lanes, two scholars whom at college as he knew, but after many years, two of his friends who studied in the Oxford, they saw him, met him, and of his way of life inquired, and they asked about his lifestyle. Whereat he answered that the gypsy crew, his mates, and his answer was that he is now with the gypsy community who have become his friends, had arts to rule as they desired the workings of men's brains. And the scholar Gypsy said that the gypsy people knew how to control our brain. They knew how to master our intelligence and our life. And they can bind them to what the thoughts they will. And they can make the brain think, desire what they want it to desire. And he said, the secret of the art, when fully learnt, will to the world impart. So he said, I have not learned fully the art. And once I learn the art fully, I will come and tell that to the world. But it needs heavens and moments for this skill. But he says to learn that art, he needs moments which are sent from heaven. That is, unless he gets a blessing of heaven, it is very difficult to learn the art of the gypsy lifestyle. This said, he left them and returned no more. And after saying this to his friends, he left them. And after that, his friends did not see him. But rumors hung about the countryside that the lost scholar long was seen to stray, seen by rare glimpses, pensive and tongue-tied. But after that, there are many stories saying that they saw the gypsy, the scholar gypsy, here and there. But thing is, they were not able to speak with him because he did not communicate with them. In hat of antique shape and cloak of grey, the same the gypsies wore. And they said that he was wearing the antique hat and the grey cloak which the gypsies will wear. So he has also started dressing up like the gypsies. Shepherds had met him on the hearse in spring, and even the shepherds have said that they have met him in springtime at some lone alehouse in the Berkshire moors. On the warm ingle bench, the smoke-frocked booths had found him seated at the entering. So when they had gone to these ale houses to have a drink, they had seen him inside that house. But amid their drink and clatter, he would fly. But as they are sitting and drinking and talking, he will just leave quietly. And I myself seem half to know thy looks, and put the shepherd's wanderer on thy trace. And the speaker says that even I am wondering about your looks, and I am only getting the details from what the shepherds have said. And boys who in lone waitfuls scare the rooks. And he says rooks is a type of a bird almost like a crow. And he says, and boys who in lone waitful scare the crows. That is, these boys will be in the wheat fields chasing away the rooks. I ask if thou hast passed the quiet place, or in my boat I lie, moored to the cool bank in the summer heats. And I will go and ask these boys who are chasing the rooks whether they have seen you, or when I am lying down in the boat in the summer heat, mid wide grass meadows which the sunshine fills, and watch the warm green muffled Cummer hills, and wonder if thou hauntest their shy retreats. And while I am lying down in the ship and watching the summer beauty, I'll be wondering whether you have even haunted their place. For most I know thou lovest retired ground, because I know very well you love to come to certain places which are with less population. That is where very few people are there. Thee at the ferry Oxford riders blithe, returning home on summer nights, have met crossing the stripling Thames at Bablock Heath, trailing in the cool stream thy fingers wet as the punt's rope chops round. Because we are getting information that you are here and there, even near the Thames, you will be coming and dipping your fingers in that river, and leaning backward in a pensive dream, and fostering in thy lap a heap of flowers plucked in shy fields and distant witchwood bowers. And there you will be sitting, and in your lap you will have a lot of flowers which are plucked from the fields, from the distant witchwood bowers. Wood is the forest. Bowers means branches. From the branches of the forest trees you would have plucked a lot of flowers, and that you will keep as a heap on your lap, and you will be relaxing, and thine eyes resting on the moonlit stream, and you will be enjoying the stream in the night time. And then they land, and thou art seen no more. And then many of them say that after that they did not see you. Maidens who from the distant hamlets come, hamlet means villages, to dance around the fly-field elm in May, oft through the darkening fields have seen thee roam. And even the girls who come from distant villages to dance in the May time, they say that in the evening time, in the darkening fields, they have seen you roaming. Across the stile into the public way, oft thou hast given them store of flowers, the friar-leafed white anemone, dark blue bells drenched with dews of summer eves. And some of them say that you have even given them flowers which are so fresh with the dews of the summer eves, and purple orchards with spotted leaves, but none hath words she can report of thee. At the same time, they don't have anything to tell about you because you do not talk or communicate with any of these people. You only give them the flowers and you go away. And above Godso Bridge, when hay time's here, in June, and May asketh in sunshine flames, men who through those wild fields of breezy grass way black-winged swallows haunt the glittering Thames. So he says, even during summertime, when we find all these scenery where the sunshine flames and the fields are with breezy grass where the wind blows very harsh and the fields are filled with wind, and where the black-winged swallows, they come and they haunt the river Thames to bathe in the abundant leisure pass, have often passed thee near, sitting upon the river bank overgrown. And when these people come, they have seen you near the river banks of Thames, and where the river has literally raised its own level. Marked thine outlandish garb, they figure spare, and so they know it is you because you are dressed in a different way. Thy dark vague eyes and soft abstracted air. But when they came from bathing, thou wast gone. But after they come from the river, they find that you are not there. So when they are taking bath in the river, they can see you there. And they will think, okay, this is the scholar Gipsy whom we have heard a lot. And so when they come to see you, you will not be there. At some lone homestead in the Kamar Hills, where at her open door the housewife dance, thou hast been seen or hanging on a gate to watch the threshers in the mossy barns. So here he says, even the housewives have seen you hanging around near their gates, watching the threshers who were working in the barns. Children who early range these slopes and late for cresses from the rills have known thee eyeing all an April day, the springing pasture and the feeding kine, and marked thee when the stars come out and shine. So even children have noticed this scholar Gipsy. Through the long dewy grass moves slow away, and they've seen him either in the April day time or even during the night time, and they have noticed that he just walks away slowly. In autumn, on the skirts of Bagley Wood, where most the gypsies by the turf-edged way pitch their smoked tents, and every bush you see with scarlet patches tagged and shreds of grey. Above the forest ground called Thessaly, the blackbird, picking food, sees thee, nor stops his meal, nor fears at all. So, even the birds have seen this scholar Gipsy, and since he does not hinder them, they continue with what they are doing. So often has he known thee past him stray, wrapped twirling in thy hand a withering spray, and waiting for the spark from heaven to fall. And all of them know that this scholar Gipsy is waiting for that spark from heaven, so that he will learn all the trades of this Gypsy community. And once in winter on the causeway chill, where home through flooded fields foot travellers go, have I not passed thee on the wooden bridge, wrapped in thy cloak and battling with the snow, thy face towered Hinksey and its wintry ridge. And now the poet, that is the speaker, says, even I have seen you while I was passing the bridge. You were there. You were also passing the same wooden bridge, and you were wearing the cloak which everyone says, and that was snowy time, and it was you. So even the speaker says that he has seen the scholar Gipsy. And thou hast climbed the hill and gained the white brow of the Cummer range, turned once to watch while thick the snowflakes fall, the line of the festival light in Christchurch Hall, then sought thy straw in some squatted grange. So he says, you were the one who were going every way, but what I dream? And suppose if anyone is going to say that I would have seen you in my dream, he says no. 200 years have flown, and why they are going to say that you would have seen him in your dream means this story of seeing the scholar Gipsy has been going on for nearly 200 years. Since first the story ran through Oxford halls, that is, the first time when everyone started speaking about the scholar Gipsy in Oxford was 200 years ago, and the grave Glanlyn did the tale inscribe that thou wert wandered from the studious walls to learn strange arts and join a gypsy tribe. And it is 200 years ago that Glanville had written about this Oxford scholar who left his studies and went to join the gypsies to learn their strange arts. And thou from earth art gone long since. And so many of them are saying that you would have died long ago, and in some quiet churchyard laid, and your body would have been laid in some quiet churchyard ground. Some country nook where over they unknown grave, tall grasses and white flowering nettles wave under a dark red fruited yew tree shade. And since most of them did not know you, you would have been buried in some graveyard in some nook of the country. No, no, thou hast not felt the lapse of hours. But now the poet says, no, you are not a person to fall in the lapse of the hours. For what wears out the life of mortal men? Because all men are mortal, everyone is going to die. But that is not for you. This is that from change to change they being rolls. This is that repeated shocks again exhaust the energy of strongest souls and numb the elastic powers. So who are mortal men is who experience the shock of the world and who are losing their strongest souls. Only for those people the death is there and they are mortal men. Till having used our nerves with bliss and teen, and tired upon 1,000 schemes our wit, to the just passing genius we remit our worn out life and are what we have been. So this is what all the human beings are experiencing. We are giving ourselves to the modern world. Thou hast not lived, why shouldest thou perish so? But you did not live the modern life which all of us are living. Then how will you perish like us? How can we consider you as a mortal man? Thou hadst one aim, one business, one desire. Because in your life you had only one aim. You wanted to learn the trade of the gypsies, and that was your one business and that was your one desire. Else were it thou, long since numbered with the dead. If you did not have this desire, then even you would have become one of the numbers of the people who have dead in the past. Else hadst thou spent, like other men, thy fire, the generations of thy peers are fled, and we ourselves shall go. But thou possessed an immortal lot. If you had been like all of us, then you also would have gone away like your peers, like all the people who were in your generation, they are all dead now. Because it all happened 200 years ago. But you had a different possession. You had a different thought. You had a different idea. You had a different desire. And we imagine thee except from age and living as thou livest on Glanville's page. Like how Glanville's page is even now present with us, we are able to read the tale. In the same way, we can imagine that you have accepted yourself from death and you are still there alive, because thou hadst what we, alas, I have not. Because you, the scholar Gipsy, have something which I don't have. And he says, for early didst thou leave the world with powers fresh, undiverted to the world without, firm to their mark, not spent on other things. Because when you were very young itself, you left this world with a power, with one mark which you wanted to learn. You wanted to learn the trade of the gypsies and you went towards it. Free from the sick fatigue, the languid doubt, and you left all this sick tiredness which is which is there among the other people, which much to have tried in much been baffled brings of life, oh life unlike to us. So you were a person who lived a life which we are all not living. You left the life of the modern world. who fluctuate idly without term or scope, of whom each strives nor knows for what he strives. In this world, all of us are striving for something without knowing for what we are striving. And each half lives 100 different lives. And if you see, means all of us are living 100 different types of lives. Who wait like thee, but not like thee in hope. We are all waiting like you, but not like you in hope. You have a different hope. You are waiting for that spark from heaven, and you are spending all your time with the gypsies to learn their art. Thou waitest for the spark from heaven, and we, light half believers of our casual creeds, who never deeply felt nor clearly willed, whose insight never has borne fruit in deeds. And he says that we are all different. We are all living the world, the life which everyone lives, whose vague resolves never have been fulfilled, for whom each year we see breeds new beginning, disappointments new. And he says we are living the life of all the common man with new beginnings, with new disappointments. This is how our years are being filled. Who hesitate and falter life away and lose tomorrow the ground won today. And do not we wanderer awaited too. And he says we are people who are losing tomorrow and we are waiting for the next day. We are not like you. Yes, we awaited, but it still delays, and then we suffer. And amongst us, one who most has suffered takes dejectedly his seat upon the intellectual throne, and all his store of sad experience he lays bare of wretched days. So, all of us are delaying, we are all waiting, and among us, who has suffered a lot, will somehow take the seat of an intellectual throne, and he will tell his sad experience to all of us, and we will be listening to us. Tells us his miseries, birth and growth and signs, and what he will say is how he had a misery in his birth, in his growth, and what all happened in his life. All that he will be telling to us, and how the dying spark of hope was fed, and how the breast was soothed, and how the head, and all is hardly varied and ordered. So he will tell how all he failed in his life, what are the sorrows he passed in his life, and that is how all our lives are going. And for our wisest, and we others pine, and wish the long unhappy dream would end, and waive all claim to bliss and try to bear. And this is what is happening even to the most wisest person among us. And all of us are having a long unhappy dream. And we all know that dream will also come to an end, and we all have to bear all this in our life. With close lipped patience for our only friend, sad patience, too near neighbor to despair, and none has hope like thine. And all of us know that our friends who are there along with us are going to leave us and go. None of us are like you. Though through the fields and through the woods dost stray, roaming the countryside, a straunt boy, nursing thy project in unclouded joy, and every doubt long blown by time away. But you are a person who has lived all these years waiting for that moment from heaven. Oh, born in days when fresh wits were fresh and clear, and life ran gaily as a sparkling Thames before the strange disease of modern life, with its sick hurry, its divided aims. Earlier, before this modern life can grip manhood, what happened is all of us were living a very happy life like this river Thames. All of us, our lives were very nice. But this modern life has caught human beings like a disease. Its heads overtaxed, its palsied hearts was riff. Fly hence our contact fear. Still fly, plunge deeper in the bower wood. Ours as Dido did with gestures turn, from her false friends approach in hate's turn. Wave us away and keep thy solitude. And he says, so you don't come back to our modern life. You enjoy the life which you are and keep your solitude to yourself. Still nursing the unconquerable hope, still clutching the inviolable shade, with a free onward impulse brushing through by night the silver branches of the glade. Far on the forest skirts where none pursue. So you continue your life with the same hope of learning what you want to learn. On some mild pastoral slope, emerge and wrestling on the moonlit pales, freshen thy flowers as in former years with dew, or listen with enchanted ears from the dark tingles to the nightingales. And you live with nature, you live in the nature, enjoying the moonlit paths enjoying the flowers, enjoying the dews, and enjoying the song of the nightingales. But fly our paths, our feverish contact fly, for strong the infection of our mental strife, which though it gives no bliss, yet spoils for rest. And we should win thee from thy own fair life, and fly away from our paths. Don't come to our way. You leave us and go, because we may infect with our mental strife, and though we will not be able to give you any bliss, we will be able to spoil your rest, and so don't allow us in your way. Just continue with your own life, like us distracted and like us unblessed, because if you're going to join us, if you're going to come in our path, if you're going to allow us in your path, you will also get distracted like us, and you will also become like us unblessed. Soon thy cheer would die, thy hopes grow timorous, and unfix thy powers, because if you are going to join us, then soon your cheers will die away, and your hopes will also leave you and go, and your powers also will leave you, and thy clear aims be cross and shifting made, and your aims which were so clear so long will definitely cross you and leave you, and then thy glad perennial youth would fade, and the youth which you are having for the past 200 years will also fade and leave you, fade and grow old at last and die like us. And when your youth leaves you, you will also grow old like us, and you will also die like us. Then fly our greetings, fly our speech and smiles. So run away from our greetings. Even if we are going to come and see you and greet you, fly away. Fly our speech, don't listen to what we are saying. And fly our smiles, don't respond to our smiles. As some grave Tyrian trader from the sea descried at sunrise an emerging prow, lifting the cool-haired creepers stealthily, the fringes of a southward facing brow among the Aegean isles, I saw the merry Grecian coaster came, frightened with amber grapes and Chian wine. Green bustling figs and Tunis stepped in brine, and knew the intruders on his ancient home. So you also be like the people who are with nature, and enjoy your youth and enjoy your life. The young light-hearted masters of the waves, and snatched his rudder and shook out more sail, and day and night held on indignantly over the blue midland waters with the gale. Betwixt the Cyrus and soft Sicily, to whom the Sicilies, to where the Atlantic raves. Outside the western straits and unbent sails, they weighed down cloudy cliffs through sheets of foam. Sky traffickers and dark labyrinths come, and on the beach undid his corded bales. So here he says, just run away from us, don't be with us, don't ever try to come to a modern life, because if you come to the modern life which we are living, you will also become old like us, you will also become tired like us, and you will also die like us. So when the scholar Gipsy is going to follow his own will, his own desire, and learn the trades of the gypsies, he will become immortal and always be there young and always be there happy. This is what Matthew Arnold tells in this poem. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.